The commission that I've received from Parliament, I'm one of 9 artists who are going to be creating banners to celebrate the anniversary of the Magna Carta and the Montfort Treaty in 2015. We're all creating 2 banners each that will be hung in Westminster Hall. I do a huge amount of drawing. I don't do preparatory work and plan what's going to be on the picture, but I do lots of different drawings. And then once I've started actually drawing, then these images become the images that end up going onto the actual canvas. And usually if it's sort of faces, I start working out how I'm actually going to create a certain face. And here I'm thinking I'm going to do, you know, a little vagabond type character or a young child, and just start going backwards and forwards. And it's very expressionistic the way I work, but gradually, bit by bit, the figure comes into shape. Maybe it's to do with my eyesight problems, but I feel that eventually the character comes out to me and speaks to me. It's how I always actually create my work. What we have here as part of my process of creating the Catholic Emancipation Act banner is all of the different research elements that so far I've found or looked at that actually had some resonance with me. I have to say it's really scary when you get a subject like this. It's enormous. It's not just 1 year. It's actually hundreds of years that you're actually dealing with for the one banner. And so I start looking at the most significant characters. Here we've got Daniel O'Connell. This is actually a drawing I've created. I interestingly always have to create my own drawings of all the people that I use within my paintings. So I find reference material that then enables me to actually get some facsimile of what they probably look like. Daniel O'Connell was the first Irish Catholic to be voted and elected to Parliament, but he wasn't actually able to sit in Parliament until the Catholic Emancipation Act in 1829. So really this whole banner is going to be about the fact that at long last Catholics were able to take their place within Parliament, which is really vital, because if you don't have all different religions within the parliamentary system, then it's not a democracy. This banner represents the Poor Act of 1601, and when I first received, was told that I was going to be doing this particular banner, I was quite terrified because I thought, I don't know anything about this. But in fact, it's probably the most relevant banner that I should have been given, because it's all about making sure that the impotent poor, the ill, the disabled are actually supported within our society. And as someone who lives with chronic health issues and disabilities, it's everything that I could hope it would be. I always like to represent the characters within the paintings in my own way, and this is actually a portrait that I've created, just a rough portrait at the moment that enables me to sort of get into the soul of Elizabeth, who was actually on the throne. What I found interesting was the sort of breakdown of the Catholic religion within Great Britain, that the monasteries used to look after the poor. And once Henry had come into power and he became king and obviously created the Church of England, then there wasn't the same amount of people to be able to look after poor people. So that's why this became really relevant at that point. And I didn't know that. I had no idea that that was what it was all about. The inspiration from my work always comes from 3 main motivations. My work deals with hope, fragility and survival. It's basically about the human condition. It's about people.